What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 95.
Oh my God, we're so close.
Woo,
Oh my
yes.
God.
Yes. We
Like, I
are
know that
almost
we
there.
know that we're close, but also,
It's always fun and exciting. It's still fun.
it
Yes.
is. It is.
We are live, bringing you that Monday post-Thanksgiving energy. And if you're live, join us in the live chat. And if you're watching later, no worries, comment down below. And introductions. Hello, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
And there's not a ton of news since it was the holidays, but things we're excited about. Somebody was in the Macy's Day Parade.
So, I don't know if y'all
watch?
noticed, I don't know if y'all watch, but we had a Luffy balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade this year, which was incredible. I mean, we got Goku, I think it was last year. I don't think it was 2 years ago. I think
I
Goku
think
was
it's
last year.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the first big anime character we've had as a balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So following it up with Luffy this year, and he looked real good. And then his hat got caught on a tree branch and popped. So the brim is what popped, so it all just kind of flopped down. So people were calling it Bucket Hat Luffy. And I have seen so much cute bucket hat fan art now. So I appreciate that all y'all One Piece fans, that all y'all Straw Hats can see something like that happen and just be like, oh, this is fun. Let's do a different style hat that you can look at that and go, now we're going to have a good time with it. Appreciate that.
I'm glad it's only that part of it that popped versus like the dome or something like that. Because then that,
yeah, it's not great that it happened, but it's one of those, it turned into something that can be fun for the fans and that can be passed around, as opposed to, the whole thing went down. Oh no. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure we've had balloons in the parade that have fully gone down. Like, I'm sure that's happened over the course of its history. I don't know that off the top of my head. So if anyone does, throw it in the chat or in the comments. I would love to know.
Yes. And speaking of the chat, looking over, Giga Derek says, howdy from a new laptop. Woo-hoo,
oh, hell
congratulations.
Yeah. Yes.
Yay.
I'm due for one of those myself.
So the other thing here, if you're new, we're going to be talking about Spy Family and have other recommendations of cool things to watch. But let's get right into Spy Family because my goodness. We knew Yor was Bamf, but oh my gosh, this episode.
This is so much fun. Oh my God, this was wild.
It was fantastic. Oh, I was, like cheering in my seat and was like, this is so good. Okay, I think we posed a question before, but I would say between Twilight and Yor, I'm sorry, Yor's going to win now. After this, I'm like,
if it comes to strategic thinking, setting up traps, etc., like, I think Twilight can outfox her.
Yeah.
Just in terms of being able to think sideways. And again, we see bits of him on this trip noticing all of the little bugs everywhere and noticing things and being fully aware of his surroundings in a way that Yor isn't as good at when she's not fully on. Like, when she is on, when she is focused, she's got it. But if she's not fully on, then she misses things. She didn't notice the bugs. She didn't, like, that sort of thing. So if it comes down to, if there's time for setup, if there's time for planning, if there's time for traps, if there's deception involved, then Twilight definitely has the edge. But if it's a knockdown drag out, he's done. He's so done. There is not a question.
And her, I mean, like, we knew she was strong and their abilities, but this really showed us how much. And I'm like, so what was this training like to build up this kind of endurance that even all the assassins, what? Like, how is she okay?
I think it's equal parts. Maybe she's born with it and maybe it's Maybelline, you know?
Yeah.
I think some of it is just, this family is like this. And some of it is, oh yeah, I know, she trained hard to get into the garden.
Yeah. And I just love the flip switch between her, I'm sorry, I have to, like, I killed your people, but like, and flip the switch and the beady eyes of like,
oh my God.
Oh my gosh, don't piss her off.
My roommate and I have been watching these together, and we've just been commenting, like, my God, the murder faces on these assassins. Like, oh, they look like relatively normal human beings. And then they turn around and they've got the little teeny speck eyes, and it's like, dang.
Yep.
And then your sports one, and we're like,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, it's on. Oh, it's on in a manner resembling that of Donkey Kong. Let's go.
And the director has the glasses glare going and everything. And I like the broom and sweeping up. Can you make less of a mess? Oh,
I love the director. I know the broom thing was for comedy, but I'm also still sitting here going, how many rounds did you have in that sniper rifle? Why did you leave where you had leverage? Because it didn't ever show us like, oh, out of rounds, time to go. It was just
Yeah.
the next comedy beat of
He's like, "I'm gonna
cleaning up,
clean
but
it."
wait,
Yep.
there's still people. And I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
from a story standpoint, I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure that makes sense. So this is me. Oh, he must have run out of rounds, and that's why he's down. Just, the
They could have
brain
had
trying
that
to
moment
slot
of
that in.
a shoot click sound of it's out and then him go. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
even need to say anything. Yeah, that's true. They could have added a little something of a, well, why'd you
Yeah.
leave that spot?
Like, I get the comedic beat, and I get that you're hitting like JoJo. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so many leans.
Yes.
And leans.
Yes. But yeah, it's like I understand why they did it, and I understand hitting that comedic beat. But when we turn immediately back into, no, this episode is serious, that's kind of where my brain goes. If it's serious, that's where my brain skips a beat, because that doesn't make any sense to me. So they went for the comedy. I understand that. It is an action comedy show with more emphasis on the comedy, but still.
Yeah.
I have the
And-
smallest of nitpicks.
Well, I know, yeah, I totally get that. Because there's other things in movies or something where like one line of dialogue or one moment of something, even though we know what the situation is, at least the world acknowledges it, and then you're like, okay, cool. Because
Yeah.
Because
otherwise it's like, why are you down here?
I did like the stakes got higher, that she was getting injured, and we even get but not get the fan service with the slash across the chest, where I was like,
oh, boob window.
Yes, but not. I mean, this show isn't really about fan service, and nothing against fan service, but I like that it was a little more like dangerous, and then ooh, like, is she okay?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah. I like the montage almost of like, I'm so and so and die. I'm so and so and die.
This is my introduction. Nah.
No.
Nah, fam. No, no. Like that was it. That was exceptional comedy. I also do love that we had just the one really powerful guy going, I'll let her wear herself out on all of these people. And then I'll step in. Like that makes a lot of sense to me.
Also, huge shout out to her for fighting in a dress and heels the entire time.
Yep.
That is all kinds of skills. Though I kind of wonder if those are specialty shoes based on how I was like, oh, then that makes sense of they can withstand a blow, or they're just designed in a different way to almost be shield like things. Okay, so wait.
Yeah.
Random other thing about one of the assassins, and it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, that I was like, okay, so the one shorter guy with the buck teeth felt like a certain kind of stereotype, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And
a little bit.
Anime and manga are not immune to doing stereotypes of other places. And if anybody else noticed, and if it made them go like, let us know, just curious, because I was like, oh,
you're doing so well with the character design, and then you have to do like 40 of them at a very quick pace, and you kind of you draw from that well. Doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed of like, oh, because otherwise I don't think I don't think there's been anything else that stood out in the show to me in that kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
It was just one of those bruh moments.
Yeah. A little bit. Also because we got a little bit more with that one versus some of the other ones. So if it had been quicker, maybe it would have been less noticeable, but I don't know.
It's like, yes, you gave him cool weapons. You gave everyone else cool weapons too.
Yes.
Like, I know the audience loves Wolverine. I know we're all familiar with Wolverine, and I'm like, yes, the Tekakagi, let's go. But like, y'all, that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Speaking also on weird, but in a but kind of makes sense. Our perfume obsession dude.
I love that quirk,
I like it
honestly.
though. Yeah.
Everyone's got their own weird little thing going on,
Mm-hmm,
and it's like,
mm-hmm,
yeah, there is something to be said for the scent profile that you choose for yourself.
mm-hmm.
And the idea of our mob boss swapping hers out to throw people off who might otherwise be, oh yeah, she does this perfume and this and whatever, but
Smart.
still having a distinctive one that can be tracked throughout the ship and still having expensive perfumes.
Mm-hmm.
Although to be fair, this is an expensive perfumes kind of ship. That really shouldn't stand out too much. But
Yeah.
just I kind of love the weird little bloodhound quirk. Like, this is very anime. All right, bro.
Yeah. Side note: the movie Perfume is wonderful and bizarre. If y'all haven't watched that,
Okay.
it is. It's more in the horror movie category. Heads up. But yeah, the way he does that, and it makes sense because there are certain smells that are very potent, and you walk by people, and you're like, and you get like hit by the wall of it. You're like, let's tone it down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I like how he used that skill.
Yeah. I'm
Any
I'm putting together a Secret Santa gift, and one of them is a little body scent thing, and the whole box smells like amber. I'm like, and this is sealed. This has
Yeah.
been sealed since I got it, and yet everything. It's very strong.
Oh yeah, those. Let us know what are some of your favorite smells, perfumes, body lotions, colognes, whatever you choose to use. Let us know. Curious. I'm like, we could do
You
it.
first.
I'm all yes.
You asked. You first.
Yes, I saw momentary tangent corner.
No, this is relevant.
This is true. This is they are talking about
That's relevant.
that.
That's relevant. We're talking about scent profiles as used in the
I
show.
way back when really enjoyed. There was like a raspberry body spray that Rite Aid carried for the longest time, and then they stopped. And I'm like, I don't even remember the name now, but I used that for the longest time. Giga goes fresh cut grass.
Smart ass.
You know what? That is a good smell sometimes.
That's a Critical Role reference.
Oh, okay. I was like,
smart ass. Smart ass.
Right
Don't
now,
go listing the rest of those bots. We all know what's coming down the line. Or I do, at least. And we're not repeating that on this show.
but
anyway.
right now, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like Tahitian paradise something. So floral, tropical, and like on the sweeter side, like, yeah, it makes me think like Hawaii too, like gardenia and like those, and more subtle. And I like more of a body spray, like spray and walk through it idea. And sometimes if I'm feeling more fancy, I like a little perfume that I actually got in Cologne, Germany, which is Köln.
Otherwise, it's just sparkling body spray.
Yes, it's from Cologne. It's sparkling body spray. And I did buy the one that's like the one that was invented there, that where we get the term cologne. And that has a nice like bergamot in there too, which that's a nice smell. So sometimes it depends on how I'm feeling or the occasion, but generally on the sweeter, light, floral, tropical vibes. But what about you?
Fair. That is also kind of where I run. I don't usually do perfume or body spray, but I am very much the hand sanitizer, the lotion, the shower gel, like all of that is scented. And of course, if you are a Bath and Body Works human, and I am, and it's a problem, problem in that I have way too much. They currently have their, exactly.
This is the champagne
toast is amazing. Champagne toast is a very good year-round scent for them. Right now, they have the Twisted Peppermint, which is one of my favorites, and they have the Winterberry Peach, but only ever in like not shower gel, hand sanitizer. It's so good. It's very strong. It's very sweet, and I get enough of those. I get enough of that and the peppermint in terms of the hand sanitizers to just last me through the year. They have when it's fall, they have a pumpkin pecan waffle scent that is unbelievably good. Like every season, they have one really good one where I'm always like, yes, that one. Yes, 4 soaps. Yes, thank you. And then if you
I was just looking because I have a couple other ones too. I'm like, I have another one too. Love Always Wins is also a really nice one.
It is. It's really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also very much a Lush human because my God, their scent profiles are amazing. It used to be a holiday only one, and then they made it year round, and so I almost always have a bottle of it in my shower. The Rose Jam shower gel,
Hmm.
because a lot of places when they do rose, it's really like fake and chemical.
Yes.
Lush's rose stuff smells like you just put your face in a bush, but without the damage that
Mm.
comes with it. Like
Yeah.
it's incredibly good. Like that is one of my favorite things they do.
Nice.
And this is me getting really support your local businesses. Small Business Saturday is past, doesn't matter. They are having a Cyber Monday deal right now. There's a local store near me called Phoebe Peacock that does their own scent blends. And they have
Hmm.
one called Tea Party that is rose and cucumber. It was made by mistake. It was a mixing accident. And they're like, well, whatever. And they did lotions and did it anyway. And I fell in love with it. So yeah, that's one of those, oh, it smells like rose, but it's mellow because it's got the cucumber. Like that's another
Hmm.
place that does a really good real rose scent. So yeah, and they have some of the best lotion I've ever used in my life. So Phoebe
Nice.
Peacock, highly recommend.
Yes, let us know some of your favorite smells
Yeah. Yeah.
be around or use, because Giga Derek now did say, but really, fresh baked cookies. Oh, yes. Mint and cypress. Yeah,
Oh,
I have a friend who hates mint, which is very amusing almost. Like it's immediate no. And I'm like, okay then. Uh,
I don't
I
mind the
love
scent of
tree
mint, but in a
redwood.
candle, it'll clear your sinuses out.
That's fair.
Like I can't do because talking about Bath and Body Works, like their candles, I
Yeah.
can't ever really do any like of their mint stuff because my whole
Mm.
everything just goes, ah,
That's
it's too
fair.
much. It's way
Uh,
too strong.
I found a local. It's funny. I have a candle dealer now. Um,
I've got a
no,
lotion dealer. I just shouted them out.
now, well, they do say they sell a candle and they will refill it for you at a discounted price.
Dang.
So you take it and drop it off. They'll fill it and then bring it to you. So like
Oh, that's
literally a dealer
incredible. Oh my
feels like.
God. Wow.
So the
Wow.
current one I have is lemon. And it's like a limoncello because there was a lemon festival and they ran out. And I was like, how did you not make more for this festival? Everybody's gonna buy everything lemon. And it smelled amazing. And it's one of those as you let it like burn, oh my gosh, you're just like, I just want like lemon desserts and it just makes me so
Mm-hmm.
happy. Yes.
Oh, limoncello in particular is so
Mm-hmm.
good.
So yes, let us know your favorite smells.
Yeah. How would an
Thank you for
assassin track you on a ship?
right. How would they know?
How would they know?
Well, the other people that don't know what's going on, we do have Lloyd and poor Anya trying to help out and is like, I can't hear her. There's too much noise. Ooh, fireworks!
Yeah.
But that was really cute. She's like, I can't
Yeah.
see, and it's like, here, go. Like, just ask if you can be picked up.
Yeah.
But that was cute.
But like seeing someone else and going, I can be manipulative like dad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, dad and papa.
And it was there was a
Adorable
nice
though.
moment that was like a reminder of, sometimes it's the little things are important. How Lloyd's like, okay, I don't know why each one of these is exciting for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, good job does not say that out loud, though she could probably hear him
Yeah.
with her mind. But yeah, just the enjoying that thing. And it's just a different, childlike view. And so I felt that was really kind of cute of he's like pondering of, I don't know, not my thing, but he's being supportive.
I'm not sure Lloyd gets a lot of enjoyment in his life outside of the satisfaction of a job well done. It seems like everything he does is calculated. And I mean, we've only ever seen him living this mission
Yes.
along with all the other missions he does, but even his like day-to-day life is part of a larger mission, and so it continues to be calculated. Like I don't know that we've ever seen something where Lloyd is like, yes, I like this and I'm doing it for me. Like
Yeah.
never.
Like for fun, just pure
Yeah.
fun and no like real purpose. That's a good point. We haven't really seen that. Mm-hmm.
And that's what this vacation is supposed to be. But
Yeah,
last
they're
episode
like,
we
"We'll have
got the
fun."
observe, observe, observe montage.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, please just enjoy the magician sawing the lady in half on stage and know that it's a trick. Even if you already know how it's done, please just vibe with the show.
Yeah.
Please
Enjoy
just
the
enjoy your
fireworks.
golf game.
Yes.
Yeah.
They look like that was an impressive fireworks show. My goodness.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Where were they keeping all of those and firing them off a boat?
It's like, yeah.
In like the 50s?
Mhm.
Dang, y'all.
I was gonna
Not
say,
the
it puts
safest fireworks
Disneyland
show
to
on the
shame,
planet.
almost kind of a thing. Like, whoa, this is a lot going on.
Well, I mean, if you only got to do it once and not every
That's
night.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
And it was also big money spending on some of the other people who were attending that cruise. So there is that.
Speaking of the other people attending that cruise,
Yes.
can we talk for a minute about how the two City Hall employees who were like, oh, this is just a gig, both struck it rich in the casino?
I was so happy for them. Because at first I almost thought, like, wait, is this like, you know, a joke or something was going to happen? So I was so happy they won. And, you know, they both lucked out. I know, like, the guy's like, yeah, I just want to win money so I can quit this job.
I love that being part of the watching fireworks and doing murders montage.
Oh my
that
gosh,
montage was so well cut together.
Yes.
That was so good.
And the blood splatter, boom, fireworks, boom. Oh, yeah. That editing was so entertaining and woven together so well. You're just like, oh.
Just extremely well done.
Yeah.
And also the getting them below the hatch to keep them safe and taking the bullets for her. Like, dude, stepped up.
Yes. Because we do know he has a bulletproof vest later, but still, ouch. Also, he doesn't know where those bullets were aiming for. They could have been his head. So, yes, he definitely stepped up. I was glad he did and, like, shielded them. And, oh, the moment where Yor picked the lady up and jumped, and he's like, whoa.
Yes.
It's like, bro, you and me both. We're like, whoa.
He's kind of useless. But after the talk last episode about, I know where I would be without this family, I wouldn't be anywhere without you, and then having the, oh no, it's too scary, I can't do it, to have him step up when it counted was honestly fantastic. Great character moment. Very glad he gets to live so far.
That too. I had a moment of like, I mean, it makes sense that they gave them bulletproof vests, but like, I wasn't thinking about that at first of, that. But, I want to say Olga, right?
I don't know.
I want to say
I don't know. I'm bad at all of it.
Just but yeah, I'm glad they're okay. And I'm
so far,
the poor little kid got scared by the fireworks at first, which was adorable.
Yeah.
But he also was impressed by Yor jumping around, like, oh, yay.
Can we talk about Yor's crisis? Because that was the crux of this episode.
That was the, what is my purpose? Yeah, that is, I think it's really showing her how much family matters to her and that she cares about them more than I think she cares. But I also think I want her to admit, and I think she does, like doing assassin stuff because she's good at it. Like, it comes to her, you know, she doesn't even need to think, like when she dodged the other bullet and she just is inherently like that. But finding that blend because she doesn't want to get hurt and leave them behind. And she's like, oh, if I disappeared without saying anything, I'd be a bad woman. I was like, oh,
yeah. And I won't be able to take the library books back to the library and
get the dry cleaning.
Yeah. It's just all of the little stuff. It's like, oh, I guess sometimes that is what you think of when your life flashes before your eyes.
But the mundane, but still important. Yeah.
And then realizing that, no, she's not doing this to put money on, to bring money in. She's not doing this to take care of Yuri anymore. She's doing this because she doesn't want other people to suffer. She's got the same motivation as Twilight, just a different way of going about it.
And her brother, technically, as well, with his bonus team, which was also comedic.
That looked like, there's an after credit scene for that. Oh man, what are they gonna? Oh, it's an omake. Okay.
Who wants some yummy bitter tea or icky tea?
She fought a boar and left it in his room.
Yeah, that was
amazing. A+.
She's like, no big, and like the bee. Oh man.
I fought a boar. I'm gonna make you some hot pot.
Yeah, her, and I'm liking she's having that moment of what does she really want? Because I think she, hasn't taken that moment to herself. What do you want to do?
I mean, she's
And
been taking care of Yuri since she was a kid. That's what she's stuck on, even though he's an adult and self-sufficient, even if he does have a complex. You know, he can, if something happened to her, God forbid, he could still take care of himself.
Yep. So I wonder if Lloyd will have any sort of like, what do I want out of this too, of coming together?
I mean, we have his motivations and we've had them for a while.
Yeah, but like the connection to the family of how much he wants to keep it, or the thought of losing it, how important that is to him, the way it is for Yor, of realizing, oh, I don't want to lose this family.
Yeah.
So
and then Anya just all of her predictions. You this, this is over, and let's get rid of Anya. Like,
yeah,
honey.
clearly she doesn't want to lose any of this. So she has 2 parents. She's happy about this, and she has someone around and a dog, and even essentially an uncle. We got Uncle Frankie. So she has from nothing to this. So we know where she's going.
I was wrong when I thought this would be the conclusion. It looks like that might be next week.
I kind of wondered that too, because where was it? I think I was thinking they were going to leave us on more of a cliffhanger, because they could have, because it's that thing when you're not looking at the clock, you're like, how far are we into this episode?
Yeah.
And there were a couple cliffhanger moments that a lot of anime would have been like, and you'll find out next week. I'm like, damn it.
But this one was like, no, we're going to get some emotional resolution. But they're still fighting next week. Like, all right. Yay! And also a bomb on the boat, maybe?
Right. And I think the other thing, too, is we left off that one of her weapons went to a different deck. And that made me wonder if that's how Lloyd and Anya might get involved, that they'll find it.
Yeah.
So.
Like, otherwise, that's out there for a reason.
Yes. Why did we see it again? And I'm thinking that's how they'll get woven in, and it'd be nice if we can make that all work out, but we'll find out.
I was wondering about the bomb, and then my roommate pointed out that last episode, the guy who does all the listening listened in on a couple of assassins going, yeah, we'll just kill him. That way we don't have to, we can take back the money that we paid him. And he's like, well, there's stupid people everywhere. Time to make preparations. It's like, oh, is the bomb your preparation, sir? Is it the bomb? Did someone set us up the bomb? Great. Why?
Also, how the director is ready to kill all of them, because if they're not a problem now, there'll be a problem later. It's like,
I mean, he's right.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
It's
just weird.
We are a bit beyond the point where we can kind of go, but maybe if we let some of them live, like, multiples of them were willing to tear up in a crowd of civilians.
Yes.
Like, y'all, I'm thinking of Ball and Chain guy 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Like,
It seems like these are the, nastiest of the nasty of like, don't care about people. Like, Yor kills people, but has that purpose of protecting others. And I like her comment too, that she's like, how can you, she said something to the extent of, you can't like criticize me when you're the one pointing a blade at someone else. And she's like, so I'm this way too, of like, I won't say anything because I'm pointing a blade at you. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Other philosophy she has too.
And then also being accused of, well, you're also doing this for money. And it's like, well, you're not wrong. This is how I fed my little brother for like a long time.
Yes.
But unlike you, that's not the only reason.
Yeah. She has a noble purpose. None of these people seem
cool motive, still murder.
Yeah.
There's so much murder this arc.
But she just killed the bad people, so
but again, they're also protecting the wife of a mob boss, and it's all mobs all the way to, again, we're not sitting here going, oh, morality, oh, this. We're sitting here going, we're rooting for this group of people because we know them.
Yeah, that too.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Any other moments or things that stood out to you? Just Gesundheit.
I think that was all of it.
Yeah,
just amazing. Like, it's coming.
Amazing fight scenes. This one was one that I was like, I mean, not that we ever forget that the show is amazing, but this was one of those, this show is so good.
This is one of those, we saved the Sakuga for this episode. Like, all righty, let's go.
and a lot of fighting, and we get to see a lot of it really well, and just really cool moves and just skills up the wazoo. So it was like, yes.
Yeah. A good time.
Indeed. Speaking of a good time, let's tell you about some other things you should be checking out. Yay! So obviously it's a holiday season, and some people are, what kind of stuff to watch. Over the Thanksgiving break, I watched a couple of movies again, which was fun because we did have a 5, almost 6-year-old in our group. So it was fun to watch with like a small child and be like, so what did you think? And was it funny? And
hey, sweetie. Yeah.
Did you get the joke? So it was Home Alone 2, which I had not seen that one in a long time. I definitely have seen the first one a bunch of times, but I hadn't seen the second one, which it still holds up and is very entertaining, very fun. The older I've gotten I almost want like a side commentary on what those injuries would really do in real life. Cause I'm like,
there are a number of YouTube videos that do that. Okay. There are a number of YouTube videos that categorize stuff in like Home Alone. And
yeah, this is like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Like they would so be dead. And I mean, maybe those injuries happened in the first one too, but just seeing the second one, I'm like, oh my gosh, like a brick to the face multiple times. I'm like, and that's a concussion, and that's probably cracking. Like, it's okay.
We're getting the first one. They fall downstairs. There's burns. I think there's electrocution at one point. Like the first, and the paint can to the face in the first one.
Yeah,
it is pretty nasty.
The second has like, there's a sequence where it's like 3 bricks right to the head, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah,
it was still entertaining. Don't get me wrong, it was very entertaining. Oh, yeah. And then also rewatch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which was still a fun classic. And the 5, almost 6-year-old didn't get the French class joke of a French kiss / CPR. And then finally, way later went, oh,
oh, baby.
So that was adorable. So those were fun rewatches. So if you do want like holiday ones, Home Alone 2, and then if you are looking for movies that are age appropriate for the whole family, I would say both of those still work. Because I was able to think of like, what's a movie a 5-year-old could watch and the adults can watch and all be entertained. So that was that. So I'd say those are great. And they also put on Deck the Halls, which I did not pay attention to because I remember when that came out, and that was that's just like, let's put people in awkward situations and laugh at them and just like one-upping their neighbor thing. And it just, no.
It's the same reason I like watching Christmas with the Cranks.
Mm-hmm. Similar in that boat. I'm like, no, it's just not my favorite. So yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, our protagonist is not relatable. He's just a dick.
Yeah, like, both of them. I'm like, even if the end, like we didn't finish it because then it got late. I'm like, even in the end, if they all become friends of like, wow, this is a bad idea. I'm like, no, this is still like a painful ride to get there.
Yeah.
Skip it. That's a skip it one.
There are some Christmas movies where it's like, oh, this is really nice. And there are some Christmas movies that are like, ah, yes, a product of capitalism. It's like, oh,
well, that's what
you can tell.
Everyone's like, how did these famous people sign on to this one? Because there are a lot of big names in it. So who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Let us know some of your favorite holiday themed or centered around that time period movies that are great, and the you can skip it ones. Let us know. Let's help each other out of what to watch and what to avoid.
Muppet Christmas Carol is excellent. Best adaptation of Christmas Carol. Everyone can fight me on that. Michael Caine
last year, and then at that point she was 4, probably going on 5, and she still got it and really liked it. And I was worried it'd be too scary because I'm like, some of that's a little spooky for a little bit. But
yeah. And Michael Caine, he took the role as Ebenezer Scrooge so he could have something that his kids could watch, and took it on the condition that he could play it serious as a heart attack, as it were. So you have Michael Caine acting his ass off with Muppets around him. And when you have I have the DVD of this because of course I do. Mm-hmm. And there is a fantastic, I don't think it's a director's commentary. It's some sort of commentary. I don't remember if it's director or producer or what. And some of it is just behind the scenes on, oh yeah, this opening scene, like these are all miniatures and you can kind of see where it seams into the set and this and that and the other. But that scene at the end of the opening song where there's Muppets on either side and he's walking up to his doorway, the stage is like this wide because there's, all the Muppet performers below the stage and the camera cuts off at the waist. So he basically had to balance beam it up to the door without looking down, without losing his balance, just stride right up. And again, all of the behind the scenes talk about, this is how we did this. This is how this worked. This shot took like 15 tries. It's a lot more complicated than it looks. This is a scene filler. This is how we did, like, the behind the scenes stuff from Muppet movies is perennially fascinating. Highly recommended. And yeah, again, Muppet Christmas Carol is the best adaptation of Christmas Carol. Fight me. I will win. No, everyone's allowed to have their opinions. It's perfectly fine. This is far and away my favorite and a movie that I will watch every year.
It works because he did take it seriously. Because I think if he didn't, it wouldn't be that same magic of that juxtaposition makes it so entertaining. Because then you believe the world he's in. Because he is like, this is serious. Actually, funny, like 6 degrees of separation there. That made me think of Muppet Treasure Island, which has Tim Curry, who is in Home Alone too, as the he works at the front desk, which was fun to see him. I was like, oh, yay! There's a couple other actors in that as well, which were fun to be like, oh, yeah, you. And you. Oh, that's like the other great thing of watching movies way later, too, because then you forget that different celebrities were in it.
Yeah. There's a litmus test of like, what was your first Tim Curry movie? And for me, it's Muppet Treasure Island. For a lot of people, it's Clue. For some people, I think it's Legend is what it's called. And I'm like, you guys, you had a fun first Tim Curry experience. Rocky Horror. He's been in so much.
Fern Gully, too.
Yeah, a lot of people don't clock that as their first Tim Curry experience, though. In much the same way they don't always clock that as their first Robin Williams experience.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, it's the fun voices. And then later on you go, oh, the people behind it, as opposed to seeing a human on the screen. Like,
Happy Feet was on at one point, too. And I'm like, oh, Robin Williams isn't a voice in that. And I forgot about that as well.
Yep.
That movie is weird.
But yeah, Muppet Treasure Island. There's two schools of Muppet Treasure Island, my favorite. There's two schools of thought for acting with the Muppets. And one of them is you treat the Muppets like they're your fellow actors. And the other is you act like you're a fellow Muppet. The Michael Caine and the Tim Curry, respectively. Because let's be real, Tim Curry is a Muppet in Muppet Treasure Island. He just is. He is chewing the scenery. It's glorious.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yes, both of those movies. One of them is more seasonally appropriate. Both of them are an excellent watch and actually quite dark in places because, oh boy, were they adapted from some heckin' dark stories.
I also think Congo was an early one I saw him in too, because he's a bad guy in that.
Yep.
I guess that's the question. Did you see him as a bad guy first? Gigadera goes, I think it was Fern Gully for me.
Yep.
Good classic with him too.
Or if you've seen like Red Dawn or Red Scare or whatever it was, the FMV game where you get the I'm going to the last place that's not corrupted by capitalism. Space! That bit. If you haven't seen that YouTube, you have to see it because he cannot keep a straight face. He is corpsing so hard during that. And of course, that's the take they use. And it's amazing. It's like, it's Tim Curry. He's a professional. He's treating this as a pro. And he's still like, bro, perfect. Yeah. I'm so glad that's the take they kept. Amazing.
Yeah. Nice.
Anyway, the other thing we watched was Ghosts. I started watching Ghosts, the US version.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you think?
Good. I really enjoy it because it's my parents watch it and they're like, well, we should try this. We should try that. Yeah. Oh, have you seen this? And sometimes my parents put something on and it's like, why are we doing this? Because they'll watch a lot.
What episode did you start on? Did you start at the beginning or like
at the beginning?
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah. And I think we got through like 12 or 13 over the course of the vacation. So it was, it's a very fun show. I highly recommend it. It's one of those comedies where you still there's some awkward stuff. There's some misunderstandings. There's miscommunications, both accidental and deliberate. There's, a lot of it is your normal sitcom fodder. but you care about these people. You want them to succeed. And it's
You want them to get sucked off?
God, you can't say that without explaining it. You're not allowed to. Not on this show.
So, I was like, in context, if you haven't seen Ghost, which I do think I recall, I recommended that back when I saw it too. Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all should watch it. It's so cute and wonderful. So when there's quite a few terms that the ghosts use wrong because they're old and then they've been around and apparently they haven't picked up slang. And when a ghost goes up, it's like they're getting sucked up like a vacuum cleaner. And so they're sucked off. And of course, the most modern person who's from like the 80s decides not.
I think he's like a mid-90s guy. Like they call him Wolf of Wall Street occasionally. He's like a 90s stockbroker. He's that he's that particular type of sleaze.
Mid-90s. Yes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't correct them that sounds like something else and it's a joke and it just sticks around. And so it's one of those.
This is one of those shows that just really throws the entendre out there, but because so much of it is used incorrectly on purpose, occasionally when it's said in front of someone who actually knows what it means, and there's that moment, it's incredible. It's very, very good. The cast they picked is frankly amazing, and the sheer number of the number of different ghosts, the different types they have, the different roles is so good, so well done, so balanced.
Yeah.
It's very fun. It's a lot of fun. I cannot speak as oh my god, yes. Like I can't speak as to the accuracy as some of the representation. I'm not going to pretend I know one way or another, and there are definitely people who are represented in this show where their voices they're going to know a lot more about it than I will. But I'm just going to say, as a modern day white person, I find this show extremely charming and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
My favorite one is the Viking. My favorite one is Thorfinn. He's wild. I love it so much. Who's your favorite? I got to know.
Right, who's a favorite? That is hard because they are such a good ensemble that I'm like,
it's really big. I don't want to say it's really big Parks and Rec energy because that's a very specific expectation. But in terms of everyone in the ensemble is a strong contender and they're all just better together, it's that sort of thing. Like everyone's great, and then you put any combination of them together and it's fire.
I have my moments where I love Sass because
Sass is great.
His sass is great, and because he's such a good sarcasm or like, the shit's going down about my popcorn, and I think that's just hilarious.
I think he's adapted the best out of any of them. Like everyone else seems to be stuck in their ways after however many years, and he is
he's the most modern, and just also
despite being the one who I think was there first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he was there. He saw Thorfinn die.
Yes.
So yeah.
Also,
shout out to Jay and having to act and not see.
So much of this show.
Hard.
Yeah. So much of this show is done on extremely well integrated green screen because part of it's a bunch of ghosts haunting this house and one person can see them and talk to them and the other person cannot. It's a husband and wife couple and she can see them and he can't. So there's a lot of back and forth where he will just be acting to an empty room because he can't see them, where there's 3 ghosts in there all having a conversation and then failing to communicate with him because he can't hear them. It's honestly incredible acting. And I think there's a few bits where like they walk through the doors and they pop out of somewhere and it's like, okay, this is very obviously green screened and put in later. But there are some where there's just the conversation going on where I'm sitting here going, I think this was filmed separately and composited and you can't tell. Like if you don't know a lot about filming techniques, set techniques, green screen, etc., like if you're not huge into media and technique, it'll just go right by you. You'd never be able to tell. As opposed to, oh, that's a terrible green screen. Oh, you can totally see no, this show is seamless.
I think the only other random thing is don't eat hungry. Or, I mean, don't watch hungry, because Jay is a chef, and so much food stuff. I'm like, oh, this just makes me so. And yeah, there's so much other kind of representation things I really enjoyed in that too, like having a male cook, chef person, and that he wants that kind of a business, and then she wants to run a business, and like they both want to do that. I'm like, that's fantastic, and like lots of other things. But yes, very
and
entertaining.
A mixed race couple where they don't make a big deal out of it ever. That's like,
I do love his sister when she visits. Spoilers, not really, but oh my gosh, and like how that interact. So
it's a very fun show. It's, I want to say 2 seasons so far, and then the British version is also available.
Yeah,
so
different vibe though.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Paramount Plus is what we were watching it on. I don't know if it's available on anything else, but we were watching it on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. I'm waiting for season 2. I mean 3. I'm like, when are we getting 3? Please.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yay. Let us know your holiday watchings that you are passing the time by or enjoying. Books too, games, all that is great. I was like, ooh, yes. I'm like, my other one too. I'm on to book 12. We're on volume 12 of A Bride's Story. And this was the thing that we've mentioned. Tell your library you want it, and they'll ship it to you. So this came in a fresh packaging, and so I'm so excited to read it because then it's free.
Nice.
So y'all reading manga on a budget, that's how you can do it. And it still supports the author and still helps your library. So
and if you get a library card, they use a lot of libraries use Hoopla. I know there's another app as well, but your library card will allow you into these apps that have digital books, audio books, movies. They don't have games in the app, I don't believe, but they have, I think they've got music as well. There is so much you can do with your library card. There are subscription services like newspapers and academic databases like JSTOR, where your library has a subscription and you can access them with your library card instead of paying out of pocket for it. It benefits the library because they count those numbers and then they turn around to the state and go, yeah, see, people are using our services. So, and even if you just need a place to go vibe for a little bit. You want to do some writing, you want to do some homework, you want to whatever. Just walk in the door of your library. Even if you don't check out any books, even if you don't use the services, just walk in the door because that counts too. Foot traffic counts. And then a lot of local libraries have different programs. So if you need help with something, they have programs that can help with writing a resume, job applications, learning technology. If you have trouble meeting people and you want to have kind of like a low key whatever, like my local library has art classes on Mondays. They're during the day, so unfortunately I can't go very often because day job, but they have all sorts of different programs. They have speakers. They have book clubs. Again, mine does art classes, and I did a couple of them, and I love them. And all I had to do was be like, I'm going to show up. And they're like, yeah, you don't have to reserve. You don't have to just show up on the day, and we'll do some art. So your local library has a lot available, regardless of what you're looking for. If your library doesn't have it, they can probably help you figure it out. So yeah, support your local library. Very important.
I saw a meme that was about libraries, and one of them also pointed out that I'm like, oh, good point. It's like the only place where you can really go as an adult where you're not like encouraged to buy something.
Or even like at this point as a teenager.
And teenagers, where you can
just go. Teenagers are losing places where they can just go hang out, where it's expected.
Yep. Yeah. The other one too is a lot of libraries have adjacent or inside art galleries, and they're free, so they're really nice to go check out local art and enjoy that as well.
Yeah, and interlibrary loan. Hop onto the catalog and be like, you know what? I want to read the entire works of Grady Hendrix. I want to put all these horror stories in my face. I want to read The Final Girl Survivors Club. I want to read I can't remember what his IKEA-based one is. Horror Store. That's what it is. I want to read My Best Friend's Exorcism. I want to read A Southern Lady's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I want to read all of these. He's amazing, by the way. I highly recommend it. You can just go in, find them all in the catalog, and if they're not at your local library branch, odds are your library will be able to poke another branch and go, can you send that our way? Bob Smith wants it. Thanks.
Mhm.
And then they'll email you and be like, your reserves are here. You got a week to pick them up. So, yes, use the library. You can get so much and it's free.
We like the library here. Can
We
you tell?
do. We do. It's great. I
is.
hope
It's
you learned a lesson about libraries.
Yes. Let
Yes.
us know some of your favorite library, what stuff you get at the library. I also really like Hoopla. It has language learning CDs, or not CDs, but you play it. Courses you can listen to, audio learning, which I really like that too. Because for free. Come on, y'all. On a budget.
And
let's do this.
I read the entirety of The Wicked and the Divine on Hoopla, which was an amazing series.
Recommendation, and 100% agree. I'd like to recommend the movie Violent Night. That is
Die Hard with Santa, basically.
So fun, and it is extremely gory. So if that is, or if you have people that can't do that, or age-wise, no. Maybe but everybody else, so good. Watch that last year with the adults.
Yes,
the adults went to that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 95.
Yeah.
You can find us also on, there it is, over on Twitter, NTATNB. And be sure to follow us here on Fanversation. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, click subscribe. And Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias, as well as on Twitch and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also a co-host on a horror YouTube channel called Silver Screams, so check that out as well. We have a very good time.
Nice. And y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE across all the interwebs. I had a fun video. I did the It Girl song to, I wore an outfit and it was just very overdressed in a way, but you know what, wear whatever you want anywhere, to the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. And it was so fun to be like in heels and like dressed up. And I just made a fun little video to that. And also it was fun because then I saw a group of people that were also overly dressed essentially for the environment. And I was like, I like your outfits. And like, I like yours too. And it was just really cool to be like vibing together and be like, yes, all right.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's okay to compliment people respectfully, of course. But yeah, that was a fun random moment. And looking over here at the chat again, thank you everybody who watched live. And if you're watching later, no worries, comment down below all the different stuff we covered. And let's put the banner back up one more time. Oh, Kitty!
She's so mad. I'm going to put her back down. Oh, she did not want to be up here. She did not want to be up here. I'm like, nope, you're going to say hi and then you can go. She was like, mother.
You can see the body like,
Oh, yeah, no. She was, again, that's why we had the real quick hello and then we let her go because otherwise things don't go well. She won't be mad for about an hour now. That's okay.
She had a quick guest star cameo.
She did. That's Winter. Yeah. She's my sweetie. You'll probably never see her on the show again.
That's okay. She's around. We'll hear her. Yeah.
On occasion, yes. On occasion.
So everybody, thanks again for watching. Be sure to follow us on the different locations because with holiday season, schedules might be a little wonky. But stay tuned. Happy to have you all here. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.